Tervehdys kaikki. Tänään jatketaan kukkasilla, koska eilen tietokone meni täysin solmuun, niin tänään jatketaan tästä näin ja taidetaan mennä vähän ruusujen puolellekin. Hello and welcome, Tina.
Hello, everybody. Okay, we are going to continue this. Now, this piece has evolved into something more interesting than I expected. And I want to develop the background a little bit more. Plus, I want to, in printing terms, we call it bumping up, which is to make something more intense. I want to bump up these flowers because they're looking very pale. Alpo's, wait, are you on this side of me or this side of me?
I'm on the left side.
On the left side,
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're on my right. Okay. His work is very intense already. And as you can see, mine is a lot paler. And I keep things pale because I haven't really decided exactly what I want to have happen. If I'm working off of a specific composition, I would have drawn this out already on a separate sheet and then pretty much copied what I want to have happen. So yesterday we had some technical difficulty, and what I was going to show everybody is with this blue background. This is definitely a blue background, no doubt about it. And it is on a soft peach colored paper, right? We can call it a toned paper because it could be any color and it would be considered a toned paper, something that isn't white. I have to decide what I want to emphasize. I want to develop my contrast. Remember, this is getting really, remember I used that term precious. This is getting really precious here. And this is kind of big and blank. So I want to build up a little contrast here.
My precious.
My precious. What's in its pocket? Precious. And I wanted to see this little bit of contrast. I really like that. So I want to keep this. And I am doing a slight outline because I want to keep it separate. And by darkening the background, I advance the flower. The flower comes closer to me. Or the viewer, we can say. That is the point. It's like, oh. Now, to me, a good piece of artwork draws the viewer in. Some artwork is so harsh that you just can't even look at it. There are a number of artists that kind of work on the grisly and on the dark side of things, and that's important too. Some artists purposely like to repulse the viewer and disturb the viewer, and that's very important. So there are different movements. So Alpo and I were discussing when did it become people would judge people harshly for copying. And we were into this discussion only about 3 minutes into the discussion, so we can keep discussing it. I thought about it, and I really think it started in the late 40s, early 50s, where copying was almost shameful. Now, historically, artists, very famous, very popular artists from ancient times, learned by copying. You apprenticed in a studio and you copied the master's work again and again. If you got really good at copying, you did an angel wing, or you did some hair, or you did the flowers in one of the master's paintings. So historically, copying has always been popular, important, essential even. But in the 30s and the 40s, we learned about abstraction, abstract art. So that really emphasized the uniqueness of a person's point of view. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not an art historian, okay? I love art, but I am not qualified to teach art history. I just observe things. So in my experience, there was a lot of pressure in the 40s and 50s. That's after World War II. People were expected to be unique. We have modern masters. Okay, I'm not into Picasso, but he is a genius and he created something nobody had ever seen, and along with many, many other artists. And amazingly, that was before I was born. So that's just my opinion. What do you think, Alpo?
Well, the interesting part from the past was when I heard that churches, the beautiful paintings on churches and cathedrals and all that, they were made by the students, and the master came and whoop, did few details, and they are the creators. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. Other people does the work and you just come and make a few adjustments and you are the creator. You get the,
Andy Warhol did that. Our modern Andy Warhol, right? He created what's it called? The factory, I think. The soup cans.
Yeah.
And Marilyn Monroe printed up, and Queen Elizabeth, and all of that. That's what he did. He
really materialized art in a genius way.
Yeah, well, he modernized it. I was just like, wow.
Made it like more public.
Well, pop art. That's why it was called pop art, popular art, right? So, yeah, anybody who wants to draw seriously, I'm going to suggest read a lot, or at least look at the pictures, and visit as many museums as you can. You don't have to like this stuff, but you need to see it. That's how we develop our taste, our likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
Okay, so working on this as a therapeutic piece, not being in a hurry. I could spend the next 30 hours, which I probably will, looking at this, taking it out, working on the background a little bit more, and so on and so forth. So there are some things that I like about my drawing. I like the texture that I'm developing. This is hatching. This is cross hatching. Now, some people actually do something called scumbling, where if you want to destroy those lines, you'll move in little circles. It creates a completely different texture. I like my lines. I want to keep them. Experiment. Remember, you can do this again and again and again, and it'll always be slightly different. Okay, Now, working with our color wheel, which I just happen to have right here. Ta-da! we know that yellow and blue make green. I've been putting layers of blue down. So I can create the illusion of sky. I can create just a dark blue background. It can be indoors in a vase. I can do anything I want. Let's play around with the magic of color now. So I've got my canary yellow pencil. All right. Let me zoom in here so we can, hopefully the color will come through. See, everything looks a little anemic to me, so I will start bumping things up. But here we go.
Helaku is saying nicely fading colors on Tina's piece.
Oh.
And mine is probably showing the quality of paper. Yeah, I have ordinary copy paper. This is just plain.
This is copy paper.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
this
Okay.
is just, yeah, copy paper too. No. I'll let you know when I'm using really fancy paper. But can you see that I'm getting a different kind of green than, let me just pull up some greens. This green is different than any green I'm going to find in a pencil because it's blue and yellow. Now, if if I put the yellow down first, which I will show you, okay, and I want to save that. I don't need a bright highlight. I need just some kind of highlight. So here we have the blue down first. Here we just have the orange of the paper, okay? So I'm going to come in with my yellow first. You can see this is yellow-green here. Now I'm going to come in with my blue. So the blue is riding on the creamy surface of the yellow. And I'm going to prove it's blue right here. Let's come in with this nice and dark. Then I'm going to come in with my yellow over it. It gives me a deeper green. All right here. So legitimately 3 pencils because there was some green down here already. But yellow and blue. But blue and then yellow. It's going to give you a different feeling. Now I can come in with a green over it. Point being, what point am I trying to make? Experiment. Experiment. See what you like. See what you don't like. Now, when I was a student, we made a lot of color charts. And I kind of, I had the attitude of, oh my gosh, I can just buy a color chart. And when you're exhausted and you have 5 assignments due for one class and 5 assignments due for another class, you're pretty tired. And it's just like, why am I doing this? When you have time, you realize why you're doing it. You're getting to know every single piece of material that you have. You're getting to know paper. You're getting to know color. You're getting to know all of your pencils and brushes and your paints. Make your color charts. Now, this is semi-accidental. I'm not going to tell you I'm such a genius and look what I did. I lucked out. Okay,
I
look at this.
I can do that. Look at me.
I'm so cool. So I have some bounce light happening here, right? And I like that. So hey, wait a minute. What if I introduce a little purple on maybe a back leaf here? Okay, how do I create a back leaf? I can come in with a yellow green. Okay. And I can create another leaf. So everybody, like have some fun. Working for clients is not usually fun. There's a lot of stress involved in my experience, a lot of stress. And we were just talking about working with clients and they're just like, ugh. And I actually came out and said, I really hate working with clients. There are only a couple of clients that I've ever had in my life that I loved working with. But let's come in with a little bit of purple. Remember, these are going to, now we're combining. Let's look at what we're combining. We're combining red and blue to get the purple. And we're combining yellow and blue to get the green. So that means if I'm not careful, I'm going to end up with a neutral gray. So I might want to just touch just a little bit. Here and here. Now this is going to unify this area. This is unifying this area. Okay. If I want to shade this in, let's say I want to make this darker, I'm going to take this purple that I used here and I'm going to tuck in a little bit of purple here. This is why you need to limit your palette. What I mean by that is don't use every color in the jars. Okay. Keep it to a limited number. So I used some orange here to create that shadow and then a darker green. I can come in with a little bit of purple here and maybe just a touch here. So now everybody can see why I don't use black very often. I do use black. I'm not going to say I don't ever because that's just not true. But it will dull your work down. And we want to keep our plants and our flowers vibrant. I don't know if you're familiar with a very famous American female artist named Georgia O'Keeffe. She was very important as one of our foremost female artists. She married Stieglitz, who was a very famous photographer and much older than she was. And she's famous for her gigantic close-ups of flowers. And she painted them so beautifully. The criticism for from a lot of art critics in the beginning was how erotic they were. And oh my gosh, it was almost obscene. And she said, that's in the beholder's eye. I just painted a flower.
Yeah. It's the same that I had when I did those first ink drawings. People were like always seeing boobs and butts and titties and asses and everything, and I was like, what? or testicles. And I was like, what? Where? Oh, right there. Oh, that's a heart. It's because I used a lot of heart drawings in, and people saw all the time something sexual, and I was like, oh, wow, I never thought of that. I never saw my hearts as sexual things, but many people told me that there's boobs. Why there's boobs? And I was like, thank you. That's a great point of view. I could use that.
Well, I would just say, oh, it's interesting what's in your head.
Yeah. But it was funny because I was so innocent back then. I didn't think of sexual things when I draw.
Yeah. But okay, why do we love flowers? Why do we give flowers to people we love? There's a reason. They're sensual. They're lovely. They smell delightful. The eye caresses them. You can get very, very into it with any plant. Why do we like trees? Because they're strong. Why do we love flowers? Because they're sexy. They're soft. They're lovely. Why do they call it the birds and the bees? Bees are busy pollinating. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah. The sex is all around us.
Oh, it is, my God. It's a constant. It's an absolute constant.
Now we need to ban flowers and bees because children will see sex all over the place.
Okay, now see, I'm seeing as I'm looking at my screen, the screen, I'm getting the shape that I want, and I want that fluffiness and that smoothness of petal. That's all done with line. So let me zoom in if I can. So this is paying attention to the contour that I'm trying to create. So I've used that word undulating, it's curved. And here it goes in, and then it bulges out here, and then it tucks in again. And this you can't rush. You cannot. It's like I showed you the basic shapes, that went quickly. Laying in the stems, that went pretty quickly. The leaves, da-da-da-da-da. Now, you see, this is bothering me. It's like a little too stiff. So I have to be careful because this red and blue will create a very heavy line. And I have to think, do I want to do that? But what I am going to do, don't tell me I cleaned up so well that okay. I'm using an abrasive. This is a very abrasive eraser. Now, I can go this way, but that's going to mess with that, and I can't see exactly what's going on. What I want to do is change the flower. So I want to change this background a little bit. This is so beautiful. I want this a little more sensual. Speaking of that, all of that we've just been discussing. Now, I can afford to leave a little bit of that blue because it will just help create the shadow. Alrighty. There we go. I'm happy with that. And it's actually creating a little bit of bounced light too. Now I think we spent about 3 hours, or we have spent about 3 hours so far working on this drawing. And I will probably keep working on it long after we stop this project. But I really want people to enjoy drawing, and I'm very happy when I draw. I love the feel of the pencil on the paper. I love the sound of the pencil on the paper.
Yeah.
And I love to see the result. It's like, wow. And I didn't, Alpo, have we discussed this, and have you gone through this? Quite often when I finish a drawing or a painting and it's successful, I will look at it and I will tell myself, oh my gosh, I wish I could draw like that. Or I wish I could paint like that. And I know I've done it. No, it's me. But there's a different part of my brain that is very different from my conscious brain that cooks an egg or goes grocery shopping.
Yeah. That's why, like we talked earlier, sometimes you get amazed, and when you realize, oh, I did that song, I did that artwork. Oh, yeah. Wow. Did I do that? Wow.
How did that happen? Okay, so now you see how much it's changed. If this is being recorded, okay, viewers, you can go back and see the difference between the before, when it was about that wide, to my erasing and contouring it, and it looks more mature. It looks a little more realistic, and I'm much happier with it. Another reason I really love art and I really love teaching art is for individuals, each one of us, we get to change, we get to evolve, and sometimes we go through very big healings. We've already discussed that. One of my students from a long time ago, an adult woman. So she had retired. So I'd say about 65. And I was teaching a class, and it ended up being mainly adults. I had only one young person. Everybody else was retired. And after, we'd worked together, 2 sessions, one after the other, so 10 weeks. It was a long time. And she came up to me and she said, I'm off of antidepressants now because of your art class. And I mean, because she said, can I talk to you privately? So we walked out. It was the last day of class, and we walked out to the parking lot, just the two of us. And she had made all of these changes, but when she told me she no longer needed antidepressants, my mouth genuinely dropped open. I was like, wow. And it wasn't just my teaching. It was that I allowed her to be herself.
Yeah.
And she had said, I never finish anything. I never finish anything. And I thought, okay, that's the challenge. And so she finished, I believe she finished 4 paintings with me. And I teased her. I said, didn't you tell me you have 2 daughters? And she said, yes. I said, well, you finished that. And she, her mouth dropped open. It was really quite sweet. And so she got very inspired and brought in a photograph of her finishing a 10K run. And then she did a big painting of that, very big painting of that. So it was delightful. And this happened many years ago, and it really inspired me to keep teaching, to be a teacher.
Yeah.
So students, I get so much from students all the time. I'm going to develop this yellow one a little bit more. So it is pale. You can see I'm using an red-orange pencil. So I'm encouraging other artists to find a way to teach. And maybe you won't make a lot of money off of it, but boy, are you going to be happy. Okay, I am going to go into the background again, and this time I am going to come in with some green just to see what happens. I can just create atmosphere. This is just atmosphere. This is not a definite, oh, it's a leaf. You can just come in with patches of color. Now that's a little ink. There's a little ink blot there. I can work it into the picture. I've had to do that before. This is contour. Contour is the surface of something. So a contour drawing, if you use lines, you're getting the contour, you're getting the surface curve of whatever object is involved. Okay, I'm going to back up so I can see what's going on. I think the artist that has surprised me the most in learning about their life and seeing how prolific they were was Peter Paul Rubens, who painted the nice fat lumpy ladies. I was astounded as to how many paintings he did in his lifetime, and they are huge.
Yeah.
And I haven't researched it enough to find out how many assistants he had. But apparently not many. And I'm thinking, this guy must have been living on pots of coffee or just didn't sleep. I mean, just a major insomniac. Are you still drinking a lot of coffee?
Past days, yeah. I was thinking I could again quit drinking it, because I drink time to time. When I work a lot, I might drink a lot of coffee, and then I take a break and I don't drink coffee for a month or two. So I don't care if I have coffee or not. It's all the same to me, but sometimes I like to drink.
Well, for me, sometimes it's just I can't. My body just says no, and it makes me a little sad because it tastes nice. I like the taste of coffee.
Yeah.
And body just screams, I'm gonna make your life miserable.
Yeah, I notice in my body if I drink too much. It says, no, don't do it, no more.
Stop. Please.
You had 2 liters already. Don't, no more. But it's when you're working, it's nice to have a warm cup of coffee.
Well, it reacts in me like a drug. It's not just a beverage. I can't drink too much tea. I get paranoid. That's just I was so upset when I figured it out. It's like, why are you so weird today? Tea.
Yeah. Those affect mentally. But like in coffee, when you drink a lot, you don't notice it that easily. But if I'm without coffee for a few months and I drink coffee, oh, how I noticed it's like this amphetamine speed. Like, oh shit, this is strong. And it's weird.
I can see through walls.
Yeah. Then you can see how strong coffee actually is. But if you drink it daily, you don't see it because you get used to it.
Oh, this doctor was talking about treating somebody in the ER, and he'd been in some car accident or some catastrophe, and it was in the emergency situation, and so it had been like 3 days had passed, and he was complaining of headaches, like these screaming headaches that nothing like paracetamol or it would just nothing phased it. And they're checking his blood and everything, and all of a sudden she has this epiphany, and she said, do you drink Mountain Dew? And he goes, yeah, how'd you know? And she goes, I'll be right back. Now, Mountain Dew is a soda, soft drink, yes?
Yeah.
But it's loaded with caffeine. And she said, okay, here, drink this. And she gave him, I don't know how many milliliters of this Mountain Dew from a vending machine. And his headache went away. And she looked at him, she said, you were going through caffeine withdrawals. And I thought, whoa, that's a lesson there. I'm not prone to headaches. I have to be very, very sick to get a headache. I know something's wrong if I get a headache. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But caffeine withdrawal, modern medicine couldn't cure it, just a soda did.
I need my fix.
Yeah. He was happy. She was relieved. I'm really enjoying this drawing. I'm surprised at how much I am enjoying this drawing. So we're going to do a rose. I can take a break and then we can move on to the rose, and I will just continue this on my own. One of the followers from my stream was watching us yesterday, and she said, what happened? Are you going to finish it? And I said, oh, it was technical difficulties.
Yeah.
And yes, I will finish it. So I told her I would be working on this today. I hope she's watching.
Sometimes the computers do what they do.
Computers say no.
Yeah. They test us sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of computers and things testing us, I don't know if I mentioned this because I've been talking about it with other people. Have you seen the footage of the Chinese robots that can do kung fu dancing?
Yeah.
That's how do you feel about that? Or do you want to discuss it? We don't have to talk about it at all.
Well, if I look into the future, it's a normal thing. Those robots and the new tech we are getting, even though it's for what I see, it's old tech we used to have, but now it's reintroducing to humanity. Oh, check this new technologic advances, and they are old, but yeah.
Oh, explain. What do you mean they are old?
Well, because I'm an old soul, I can remember past lives and see through time. So, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I just see things through my soul. And yeah. And I just know. I just know stuff.
Well, okay. If you know stuff, do you see it as something good or bad or just the way things are?
Well, like everything, there's negative and positive. It can be used as negative, but it's also a positive. So there's a lot of positive things to the new tech people will get like in 10 years or so. And but like many people has awakened to the corruption and everything in our society. I think, or I see it goes away, but underneath everything there's still that negative aspect working in this reality, but we don't see it because we are focused on the new tech and having a good life, and so it's these cycles. There is this evil aspect of reality, and sometimes in the end of the cycles we see it. What is happening here? And then it goes away, but it's still there. So, yeah. I don't know if I explained it properly, but
I mean, the old technology that has been rediscovered is the self-healing concrete. But what really terrifies me is these instead of fireworks show, they're using drone shows. You know, they have these.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm horrified, and I'm thinking to myself, and I've asked people, said, you know, they go, ooh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so wonderful. And I said, do you not see that this is a demonstration of the power of drones and how we can be wiped out and controlled in a matter of minutes?
Yeah.
And then they look at, and it's just, they kind of, I know part of it is, did you have to spoil my fun? Did you have to point that out?
But that's why it's so important to focus within yourself how you are using your emotions and thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
what you focus, what you grow in your life, because there is those war realities, those with tech that you infuse yourself with robotic arms or something like that. I've healed a lot of those within myself within this lifetime because I've been through those war timelines, and it's within you how where are you going, what realities you want to experience as a soul. You can go all the way, like for the negativity, war and terror and everything, if you choose so. Like the corruption in our reality, in our system, you can go really corrupt, like politics, and you can do evil stuff for the humanity and you get award for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you decide where you want to go. Like we are doing these positive things. We are not doing here the blood drinking and creating suffering to other people.
But the you, are you speaking of the individual, or are you thinking of as part of society? This is where I run into my personal difficulties, is I can be in disagreement with a policy. How do I stop? How do I stop the evil from spreading? I know we need to look within to find our moral compass and our higher ground. How do we affect positive change?
The way I see it, it's just a decision.
So it's personal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for me, these past years, I have to really fight for my rights, because this our current system is trying to push me down and take everything from me, and I really have to fight for my rights, even though I don't care of fighting, but I don't accept their brutality towards humans, and that's why I need to do some things to fix those patterns, and that's why I talked earlier. That's how I learned how to fight with love. So I don't go to those negative motions. I don't judge the people who are doing the bad things towards me. I don't judge them. I just know these things. Okay, this happening, and I decide what feelings I want to feel, even though I have to fight.
You're so articulate. I like that. And you're living by what you say.
Yeah. well, I had to learn those because the government tried to steal everything from me. I had to learn how to fight. And then I'm speaking about this because I had to understand that even though I'm accused and I know I'm innocent, I felt guilty. And I was like, wow, this is interesting. Why do I feel guilty? Because these people are accusing me and they are angry. And then I look at myself and started to clear those emotions. And I took the third person perspective to deal with those lawful things, to get my things done. So I wasn't personally defending myself. I became a lawyer, and then I took care of everything, and it totally changed the whole system, because I wasn't I don't know how to say it. I created a lawyer within me who was taking care of things. So I release all those emotions and I was just happy and in this like warrior mode. Yeah, let's do this. I was excited.
Yourself. Yeah, you empowered yourself to accomplish what you needed.
Yeah.
Boy, I know that feeling. I do. That's marvelous that you were able to that you're able to do that.
Yeah, this was a good lesson about the inner world, and because I saw that there's obviously trauma, and many of them wasn't even from this lifetime. They were from other lifetimes that my soul and ego programming has carried. Like I saw once my energetic body, and it was interesting because I just saw these patches all around my body, and I could look into every patch. Oh, this is from 300 years ago. There's a trauma. Oh, this is 1,000 years ago. There's a trauma. And it was interesting to see the energetic body.
Well, I imagine we're each carrying tremendous. There's generational trauma.
Yeah.
And they have done studies with on women that have been born to women who went through starvation, and it's even passed on to your granddaughters. So they're studying the matriarchal line. So specifically, rather than crossing back and forth between men and women, it's what has been going on. And if your grandmother went through a starvation trauma, you as a granddaughter will be carrying psychological and physiological markers from that. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So if we are going to be grandparents, we have to be really careful about what we're doing.
Yeah. And I've seen many times if a conflict comes, and with different people.
Mm.
And when I don't fight, I see why it is happening at that moment. And many times there has been like this 1,000 years of trauma or fight, and I'm just like, wow, have we carried this all this time? And now we are fighting, and we don't know even why we are fighting. But it started back in like 1,000 years ago for some tiny thing, and we still are like experiencing the same trauma, the same pain. And that's how I release a lot of those, because when I was just calm and relaxed, I could see clearly what's happening here, and I didn't need to fight. When we fight, we just put more energy into it.
Oh, yes.
And we don't get the lesson when we fight. We don't see why we are fighting. Yeah. But when you are calm and with an empty mind, we have a possibility to see why the reality is showing things to you. It's not that the other person is an asshole, even he or she can be, but there's under it there is a reason why it is happening right at this moment in your life. And when you don't react to it, you can see it, why. That's what I've learned these past years. So are you ready soon to go to the flowers, the roses?
Okay. To the rose. Okay. I'm having such a good time doing
I
this.
know.
Okay.
We can.
Time for a rose. Hold on. There's my.
I don't want to pressure.
No, I'm having such a good time. I really like the way this one's working out. So, I suppose the lesson...
You have a fine line work.
Yeah, the lesson on this is take your time, have a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I want to find... there's a particular rose that I have done before, and I'm debating, do I want to do that again? Or let's look up roses. I do need a reference. Rose plant. Boing! All right. I want to find a rose that's going to give us enough contrast without too many petals. If this is a learning thing, okay? I had some very unusual teachers, or maybe they weren't unusual. I have had many different art teachers in my life. And the ones that were insecure, we're talking men mainly, in their 50s, that I could see were painfully insecure and really didn't want to be teaching. This is not particularly an unusual circumstance. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Let me save this image. No, I don't want it to go there. No, not there. Oh, I hope I can save it. Let's see. We can hope. All right. Now, why am I picking this particular one? That is going to be in focus now. Okay. Oh, sorry for the lamp light. Let's move that a little bit. Okay. I want to use this particular rose because it has nice big petals. It doesn't have too many of them because some of them are like double roses. So you're going to have physically twice as many petals. Let's observe what's going on here. We have an ellipse. Okay. We have lots of triangles. Now, analyze your subject matter before you start drawing it if you want to have something nice happen. So we have another ellipse here. Okay. This curve, we've done this curve with leaves before. This is not a straight line. It looks straight, but it has a dip to it. Okay, so let's pay attention to the little tiny details that are going to make this rose look lovely. We can look through, like, I don't think this is particularly pretty. Nice specimen. That's okay. Too many petals. You can look at 200 pictures of roses, okay, and find one that you might like more. For educational purposes and actually just what I like to look at, here it is. Okay, so let's work in. Alpo, tell me, do you want to work in color right away, or do you want to do structure? What do you want to have happen?
Onko ihmisillä mitään toiveita, että haluatteko käydä ruusun struktuuria läpi vai hypätäänkö suoraan värittämään? Because like I told you earlier, I spent time to study roses so I could understand the structure. And when I understood it, the roses were easy to draw. But I didn't train it, so I have forgotten it. What I realized back then.
So we can leap right into but you need to see what's going on here. Okay, wait a minute. Again with the lamps, and let me turn off the top lamp. We're going to have a big orange ball, which leaves me working in the dark, but it works better on camera. All right. Let's get above this. There are many different ways to approach this. We're just gonna go for it. Okay. So what I look for when I'm drawing a rose is what's the overall shape, and then I have to think in negative and positive. Some people like to start from the middle. I like to start from the outside and go in. Sometimes you can start from in this, Okay, but if I just relax and treat it like a clock. Why treat it like a clock? So you can keep track. So if I start at 12 o'clock, move to 3, 6, 9, and then back to 12, I'm visually in control. Negative space. I've got a negative space triangle here. That sets up this part right here. Relax. I'm going to be very sloppy with this. Okay, I'm just going to move around. I know this is part of a circle. This is actually an ellipse. Okay. I came in, there's a little dip there. I'm going to go back to my outside at about 3 o'clock. There's another little dip there. Why am I doing these Ys? Because of overlapping. Okay. I know that right here, this is in front of this. This is behind this. At about 4 o'clock, I've got this nice weird triangular petal. Coming back to about 5 o'clock, then I can actually set up a little guide petal here. I shouldn't say little, it's pretty big. Coming down with the Y, it's scooping up. Da, da, da. I'm past 6 o'clock now. Okay, I'm already at 6:30 here. Doo, doo, doo. Ba-ba-bum. I can go back. I want to go back up. I'm going to about 11 o'clock. Overlapping. And here I go. Doo, doo, doo. I have the outline of my rose. Okay, now what happens next? This is an important petal. Why is it important? Because it's supporting the center. And I want to create that center dropping in. So here's my letter Y again. Let's see. Yeah, that'll do. I can change my mind later. And it's like, this is quite round. Then this does something really cool. It comes down, it comes up, and it kind of goes that way. Then I'm going to come across this. Now, I'm putting in a straight line very lightly because I know it's not a straight line, but I want to set up the rest of the drawing. And here we go. We're going to go this way. That's setting up that petal, even a little narrower. Then this one is going to sweep around this way. This one is going to curve. Ripple, 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 ripple. And now I can come back down here. I'm going to create like a cup. I have to sharpen my pencil. Hold on. I paid a ridiculous amount of money for this little sharpener, but it's really good. So I am happier that with the money I spent. Okay, so I want this. It's a gentle curve. It's just ever so slight. By paying attention to all the other stuff we've been studying, going back to lesson 1, there's a little triangle here. Sometimes just knowing what shape is happening can make all the difference in my understanding of what I'm looking at, even if you've never seen that plant or flower before. Am I in focus? I hope so. It's not quite in focus. Hold on. Where are you guys?
Onhan mulla ruusuja pihalla.
Oh, it's in focus now. Maybe I don't need a focus card. Who's going to be a helpful? This will be a helpful focus. Hi. Okay. Yeah, his little feet will keep us in focus. Okay, we should have pretty much, like, you can see that our rose is happening, right? It could be a camellia, but it's a rose. Now I can just start, like, joining the shapes. Relax. If I want it to be photo perfect, I would really slow down, and if I really wanted to cheat, I would just take a photograph of it and use a light table and trace, which you can do, but that's not the point of this. Observation is the point of this. Like if you're working on a commission for you people out there that want to be making some money off of your art, learn shortcuts. It's going to save you a day or two of frustration. Like we were talking just yesterday, talking about using cameras. Yeah, use them. Because if you don't know what you're doing, it's going to look like crap. Okay? It doesn't matter how many tools you have. If you haven't practiced, if you aren't a good draftsperson, it's going to look ugly. I'm sorry. That's just sort of how it is.
Yeah, we are inspiring you here.
No, what it is practice. Practice. I'm sure anybody who's played a musical instrument, and you are musical, I'm not, but I can hear and I can tell when someone's been practicing or not.
Yeah.
Okay, now what's the beautiful secret? I'm going to worry about the center in a little while. I want to set up the big petals. What's the big secret? Let's look. This is it right here, just like with the tulips. You see these lines? Just like our eyelashes, the umbrella making a sphere look like a sphere. It's the contour lines that are going to make this rose beautiful. So pay attention. And this is where practice comes in. This becomes automatic if you practice enough.
Yeah, and it might help. Like for me, I struggle when there's like a lot of pedals. I struggle because my eyes are like looking at this, then they're looking at this, then they are here, and I'm trying to copy the flower, but it's like not focused. So if you're having difficulty, you can do like the grid. So on into that picture you are looking, and then it's much easier. Okay, this grid is having this.
Yes.
And then there is this. You do grid by grid. You don't take the whole flower.
Yeah, I don't do well with grid. I mean, even in a mural, I'll do a big grid.
Yeah.
But if I'm really trying to train my eye, this is how I do. My grid is using a clock.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's a different kind of grid. So that's a square grid. That's perfectly okay. People have used it, artists have used that for hundreds and hundreds of years, a grid pattern. It's logical. For me, if I'm in a hurry, it's much easier for me to just use it like a clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a different kind of grid. Now, the contour, you can see there's a main thing coming out here. And how do we make that curve? We're using this curve up here this way. We're going to use this curve this way. Okay? You know, a really good one is a cabbage. Draw a cabbage. You will learn so many things.
Cabbage art.
Now to separate, I want to separate the petals. And there is something going on here. Oh, look, there's a little tiny petal in there. Remember this trick with we did it early on, where we're making a ripple, or we're making a fabric or a flag. Here it is. This is the flag. When we did the scrolls and things, there it is. It's right there. This comes down. And this goes over, overlapping. This comes around this way. This is very close. And there it is. Now, why am I working so light? Because I want to be able to change my mind. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna work on this part right up here now. So that's dark. That's far away from us. We have to keep this light for contrast. And here we go. We're going over here, and then we're going to save that light. Save this light right here. Don't touch this. Leave that alone. Here's our contour line. Now, what's going on here? Are you watching what's happening? I'm left-handed. This is becoming precious. Okay. Watch out for that preciousness. Let's move up here. Okay. So I am at about 12:30. If I'm doing a watercolor of a rose, it's a very different ball game. I cannot compare doing watercolor with drawing a rose like this. Okay, you see right here, I want to change my mind. So if I go too dark, then I'm in trouble. I want to bring this up a little bit more.
No, what I'm doing.
All those hours of practicing, all of those little shading exercises come into play now.
People, this is for real now.
We're doing it. We're really doing it here. Yeah. Okay. So now it's not doing what I want. There's still a mark there. Let's see if I can make it work for me. No, not really. Now I'm coming into the middle. What's going on here? It's an ellipse, okay? And it's like a spiral. And I'm going to tell everybody, don't just do one rose. Set a goal for yourself, a small goal. Do 5 roses. If you have to kind of force yourself at first, go ahead, force yourself. It's kind of good exercise, making yourself do.
And you can do different kind of roses. The ones you really focus and try to create as real as you want, or you can simplify it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different types of creating roses.
But I will still recommend pick a simple one. Pick one that has a limited number of petals.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to discourage yourself. You want to encourage yourself. Okay. Well, that's the basic structure. Now I'm going to start messing with the shading. I'm here because I've laid it out. And remember, I'm using my system as a clock. So I can very quickly figure out, okay, I'm at 12 o'clock. I'm at 12 o'clock. This is happening. I'm dropping in here. What does this petal look like at 5:30? There's a nice dark spot in here. Are you exactly the same? You look the same. Oh, and this one is called Rose. And this is Rose too. Okay, I want to get a darker pink. Apparently I don't have one. So, oh, do I? What is this? What is this? Oh no, the color's gone. Anyway, let's go. Let's see what happens with this one. Save your whites. This is something we do in watercolors. Saving your whites. We can use white paint, but that's usually for touch-up. But let's say you're entering a competition. You really want to be competitive. You have to follow the rules. And if it says transparent watercolor only, that's what you got to follow. Only use transparent watercolor, no gouache, no opaque watercolors, or you'd be disqualified. Okay, so now you can, oops, you can tell exactly where I am. This is here.
Oh, the picture doesn't show on the screen. Yeah, no,
Oop.
no,
Oop.
it is.
That's not working. I can't see. There we go. All right. See what happens when you give Tina coffee in the morning. Okay, we really have plotted this out. Okay, let's look at it as much as we can. All the petals are in place. All you got to do now, this is like a coloring book now. All we need to do now is get darker. Okay, so my suggestion is you hit at this point. I want to hit the darkest parts first, and then and then I will go to my midtones. So I got all the lines in place, which you need to with roses. Okay.
No, I'm doing the opposite.
What are you doing?
I don't have all the lines.
Well, now, you know, we can do impressionistic roses. We can do roses any way we want. There are at least 50 different ways to do roses. This is just my way of doing it. And with a high experimenting with different teaching techniques and the results from students, this gave me the highest level of results with them that they were happiest with. Come on. There we go. Okay. So from a satisfactory standpoint, this seemed to be it. The one thing you have to be aware of is what's a shadow and what is an edge. So you have to translate that example.
Elikkä shadow and edge.
Mm-hmm. So here's an edge, here's a shadow. So this is the edge of the petal, and this is the shadow cast by this petal.
Elikkä tärkeää tuossa justiinsa huomioida se, että mikä on reuna viivassa ja mikä on varjostus. Tai jotain sinne päin.
Mm-hmm. Is anybody drawing along with us today?
Piirteleekö joku mukana? Ruusuja. Tämä on kyllä sinänsä mielenkiintoista, että kun meillä on Tiinankaan niin erilaiset tyylit luoda näitä juttuja, niin näette kaksi erilaista tapaa tavallaan toteuttaa samaa asiaa. I was just saying about that because we have so different style to create.
Mm-hmm.
It is great to see when we work at the same kind of things.
Mm-hmm. I like it very much.
Yeah.
I think it also, I like that it's giving people options, choices.
Yeah.
Of how they want to approach things, and they can approach the same subject completely differently than either one of us.
Yeah. Yeah, and Helak is saying, and we learn from each other.
Mm-hmm. that is the joy of being in an art class. And I just haven't been in a situation as yet where I can join up in an art class as a student. I'm looking forward to that time. It's not quite time yet, but it soon will be. I enjoy being a student.
Yeah.
I don't have the right rose color that I want. I think they're all just rose. Same. Okay, let's see how dark we can get with this. Gonna have to layer it with magenta, I think.
I'm twisting again with the words my agenda. My brain is I don't even dare to mention many times, because when we speak here my brain just transform the words you are saying into something weird. many times.
Okay, scare me. My God, did she really say that?
Because I like to play on words.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. Now I'm noticing, what am I doing here? Okay.
Okay, so I put in guidelines for myself so I can develop the contour of the petals. And for me, it really helps. It tells me where I'm going. I mean, if one spends a week drawing roses, you're going to get good. You will get better, if not really, really proficient.
Yeah.
So we are covering a lot of subjects in a very short amount of time. And I think that's pretty amazing of us.
Yeah.
I'm letting my pencil flatten out because I don't want lines. I want just a flat block of color. So I'm not turning my pencil as much. When I want sharp detail, then I will be turning my pencil a lot. Also, what's helping me is all of our shading exercises, going from dark to light and from light to dark.
Yeah.
So all those quote unquote piano scales I give everybody to do, this is what that's for. Control. It's all about control. As is most of the world, right?
Yeah. When you wanna be an artist, you need to be a control freak. I'm just kidding.
I mean, to me, it's like one of the analogies I give my students is this is this is a bicycle, and you're the rider on the bicycle, and you want the bicycle to go where you want it to go, not just riding all over and then you get hurt, right? So, and then it is a magic wand. We make magical things happen. Okay, I am going to just change this pedal. See if I can change it. Nah, I think it's too late. If it's too late, just make it darker. Also, I want to get rid of that line, so I'll echo that line. Okay, you can translate this. Okay, where can you hide a zebra? You can't hide. You can't hide a zebra in a herd of horses. You hide a zebra in a herd of zebras. So if there's a line you can't get rid of, which is like the zebra, just put a bunch of zebras around it, and that mistake disappears.
Niin, että miten piilottaa zebra, niin laittaa muita zebroja ympärille. Et jos sitä esim. Viivaa ei saa pois, niin saman tyylisillä jutuilla.
Does anybody have any questions? No questions about what we're doing?
No. Not at the moment.
Okay. Okay, I made a mistake here, and I know I can't erase on this paper very successfully, so I'm just gonna create another petal. But what I mean by mistake is not being able to follow the photograph completely. What's involved here is shading and pressure. There's a lot of pressure involved. Contrast is coming into play here. I want this petal to jump out, so I have to put in some contrast here, and it is a shadow in the picture, but what it is for a drawing is contrast. There's actually green in there. That's interesting. Green, green, green. There is a little bit of green poking through there. Well, that's kind of interesting. For detail work, you really do have to sharpen your pencils frequently. And then there's stroke style. So Alpo's individual strokes are quite different than mine. And my strokes differ from drawing to drawing and from the type of flower I'm drawing. And do I want it to be edgy? Do I want it to be soft? What feeling do I want? And I kind of want this rose to be a little bit edgy. So rather, as the tulips were quite soft and controlled, I kind of want this to have a little bit of fun popping off the page. So I can mess around with the lines a little bit. I can be a little intense with the shading. Because it's actually quite a soft looking rose, and I kind of want a little bit of pop with it. I'm bringing in that dark pink right up against it. Again, what is it? It's contrast. It's just contrast. With roses, their petals are translucent, which means light is going to pass through them. And that's another reason why we love them, is they glow. Part of it is cell structure. Yeah, and they're fun. They're glowy.
Glowing roses.
Okay, so my light is sort of coming from here. How do I know that? Because the shadow is cast here. Okay, so now that I've got things pretty much in place, and I have to save my whites, so how dark do I want to get that pink? I can set this up in my drawing already. So I'm going to the lightest area and setting how dark I want my pink to go. I hope that made sense. Because this is going to be pretty dark in here. Okay. So it's not a white rose. It is a pink rose, but how light is my lightest pink and how dark is my darkest pink? And it wouldn't matter if it was a blue rose or a green rose. We do the same thing. You have to figure out what is the lightest part of your drawing and what is the darkest part of your drawing.
Eli mitkä ovat tummimmat kohdat ja vaaleimmat kohdat, koska kyseessä ei ole valkoinen ruusu. Niin siitä tutkii sitä, että miten sen sitten siihen rakentaa. Että
Okay, at this point, I don't really like this idea that much, but I am going to go ahead with a purple. This is where I have to keep my pencil sharp. I'm sharpening the focus. That was the best way put by one of my teachers, is everything starts off out of focus, and then as you come to the finish of your piece, you are fine-tuning, you're focusing, you're sharpening. So your detail will be sharp and fine.
mä taidan tässä vaiheessa laittaa vähän valkosta. I'm gonna add white.
Oh.
Because I wanna see, can I have the glowing effect or that shine.
Okay, I hope everybody can understand why I picked a rather simple rose, because it's very easy to get lost in the maze of petals.
Yeah. Even there aren't that many petals. It's a lot for me, at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have to move down here because I'm moving into that mode again. It's like, ooh, this is fun. This feels easy. It's like, oh, back up. Go to the other side. I think the only other most challenging flower would be a chrysanthemum. And we're not going to do that because it would take too long. We'll be doing a chrysanthemum for, 2 weeks. I know we've had this conversation already, but that's why when you're watching these clips on YouTube or Instagram or whatever, and everything is speeded up, they eliminate the drying time. If I'm doing a rose like this, I have to walk away every 20 minutes for at least 20 minutes to let the paper dry.
Yeah.
And let the paint evaporate. And honestly, I think some streamers do that on purpose to keep their audience from accomplishing what they want, what the audience wants to accomplish, because people get impatient, especially if they're learning watercolor. They become exceedingly impatient and they plow in and they overbrush and they end up with a pile of gray slop. And so, of course, the master remains the master because you're not teaching the full thing. You're giving them tasty bites.
Yeah.
But not the real meal.
There's a question, has Tina practiced singing?
I only sing by myself. It goes back to junior high school. There was no room in the choir, but there were 5 of us, I think, that really wanted to take chorus or choir. And so we had to audition, not like everybody else, but to just get in the class. And somebody else got chosen, not me. And so that door kind of closed, and I just sing for myself. Why do you ask? I'm curious.
There's Aatoksia asked. There was a question in the chat.
Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, why did they ask?
Tiina kysyi, että miksi kysyit, että onko hän harjoitellut laulamista?
occasionally I'll belt out a tune in my stream, and that's kind of fun, but it's usually by accident or in the midst of a joke or something. I love doing a lot of different voices. Okay, well, that's basically our rows. Now we can keep going. We can cheat a little bit. Lay your pencil on its side. And tuck in and do a little shadow there. This is more of the technique I've mentioned, scumbling. If I want to soften it, I'm just laying my pencil flat and going in circles.
Eli ympyröillä sitten pystyy niinku pehmentämään. Ei vedä suoria viivoja. Ympyrän muotoista kuvioita tekemään.
I'm pressing very hard. If you really want to get that soft effect. Sharp pencil, light pressure, piling it on. Soft.
Aatoksia said I asked because I'm a musician and want to encourage people to sing.
I love to sing by myself. I even have my own ukulele, and thank you. I'm so glad you're encouraging people to sing. Yes. I think it's rather interesting that quite a few areas, you can call them boroughs of London, so smaller neighborhoods of London, have choral groups. They're very easy to find. They do like some devotion, though, and I cannot devote my time to a chorus. Little too busy for that. And I must confess, I lack confidence. What am I doing? I'm going around now. I'm curving. I'm catching this contour now. I was catching this contour, and now I need to capture this contour in this direction. So that's what this is about. What does everybody think? Are they grasping this? Is this interesting? So I want this cup, I want this to be really curved, so I'm coming in with my curved lines. Now, honestly, it took me about 2 years to be comfortable, truly comfortable with colored pencil. And when I put it down for a while, I have to remind myself how to work with it again. It's the same with everything. If you put it down for a while, you have to get your muscle memory woken up, revived, to get back to understanding and remembering all the things that went into what you learned before.
Yeah.
Now, again, I remember I set up all of these lines. Let me see if I can get in close. Oh, no. Don't fall off. Get back up there. There we go. There we go. Old camera is held together with zip ties. I'm too cheap. I don't want to buy a new camera. Okay. So, and I'm used to working with this one. Okay, so I set up all of these contour lines coming out this way some of them are curved. These are straight at you, so they're straight, and then I'm curving this way to get that curve. And now I'm trying to build this contour. So it's like this. Okay, now at this point, I don't really want to use my photo reference that much. It will help remind me of, oh yeah, this is darker. But now I'm going for the feeling part of it. What feels nice? Rather than just the photorealism that we want to capture.
Autoxias is saying, yes, very interesting.
Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, that's a pretty good petal. Now looking away, it looks like it needs a little bit more here and a little bit more here because of the gradation. So I want this dark, lighter. Okay. Oh, Alpo, yours is beautiful.
Thanks. It's not the same as the picture, but well, it's
that's
something.
not the that's not the point. The point is we wanted to draw a rose, right?
Yeah.
So if you show that picture to anyone, it doesn't look like a tulip. It's a rose. That's the point. So we did it. Yay. We have accomplished our mission for today. Alrighty, well, we've been on about 2 hours, so I'm going to let you do what you're going to do. And thank you, everybody that has taken time to watch us work together. And I will see you next week. Next week, we'll be working with ink, pen and ink. I'll probably just cheat and use my felt tips. And we're going to be working on trees. I think we'll work on trees and shrubbery.
Yeah.
Okay.
And line work.
Line work, lots of line work, lots of cross hatching. So did I share Bobble with everybody here? That I finished Bobble? Let me see if I can. Where's Bobble? Where did he go? I've been looking at that fish for days and now I can't find it. Where is he? Where are we? Anyway, did a lot of cross hatching. Oh, all right. Alpo, thank you so much for hosting me. And I hope everybody had a good time. I'm going to work on this some more, and then I'll just post a photo of it. But I think everybody understands the main structure. You can start from the center and go out. You can start from the outside and go in. We talked about you can grid it. You can grid it this way. I grid things like this. So it's wonderful. There's so many different ways to approach a subject matter and have a good time with that. And let me go right back to all the things that we accomplished in color. So we were playing around with our color pencils. How do we get green, blue, and yellow, and using our complements to create shadow. So stems need to be as interesting as the flower. Leaves need to be as interesting as the flowers. Your background needs to be as interesting as the subject matter. And that was the objective of this week, from me anyway. Okay, everybody have an excellent weekend coming up. Everybody stay safe and warm. Spring is coming. We're preparing for spring. So, Alpo,
Yay.
love you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Mä taidan vielä jatkaa tässä vielä vähän aikaa, kun mä en nyt viitti vielä jättää tätä tällaiseksi. Niin jatketaan vielä hetki. Piirtämisen ihania puolia, että jos aluksi ei malta aloittaa, niin sitten tulee jossain vaiheessa se, ettei malta lopettaa. Mitä Alpa? Ei pitäisi se kummempia. Elämää. Taiteellisessa muodossa. Joo, oliks sulla Helaku niitä juhannusruusuja? Mä joskus istutin juhannusruusuja, mutta ne ei jostain syystä lähtenyt kasvamaan. En tiedä miksi. Voi olla, että mä en kastellut niitä. Pidetään tänne vaan vihreitä taustalle ja sitten tehdään vähän. Sitä voisi tummentaa vielä. Lähtisikö jos ottaisi pistarin? Kyllähän ne saattaa lähteä. Mä muistan, oliko sillä ruusulla joku tietty tyyli, miten sitä sai lisättyä vai mitähän siinä oli. Ja tämmöiset viivathan ei yleensä piirtämisessä, nehän yritetään niin kuin saada pois noin monesti tuo tekstuuri, mutta yksi mikä mä tykkään näillä kynillä piirtäessä on just toi, että kun tulee tällaista viivamaista tekstuuria, niin mulle tulee vaan mieleen niin kuin joku printeri. Mä tykkään siis sen takia noista, vaikka ne nyt ei välttämättä ole se, että pitäisi hinkata niin kuin mä tossa jaksoin silloin lehteä hinkata, niin se on siinä on paljon enemmän sitä väriä. Et se on tasaisempi. Tuo on niin kuin jännä, mulle tulee semmoinen printeri mieleen tosta aina kun on tommosia kynän viivoja näkyy. Joo, voihan niitä kannattaa kokeilla. Saako niitä lisättyä? Mä en ole ruusuja lisännyt tuonne pihalle, mutta paljon kaikkea muuta on katkonut ja istuttanut uudestaan. Joo. Printerhead. Mutta se muistuttaa tämmöistä vanhaa ajan printeriä. En mä tiedä miksi mulle tulee semmonen mieleen. Back in the day. Oho. Menee vähän ruusun päällekin. Ai joo, mitä marjoja sulla oli? Se on kyllä kivaa, kun pystyy tolleen pistareista lisäämään kukkia tai puita tai jotain pihalle. Onko kukaan kokeillut sitä, että yhdistää eri puita? Et vaikka niinku omenapuuhun leikkaa oksan pois ja sijoittaa siihen päärynäpuun oksan. Onko kukaan testannut semmoista? Nyt mä huomaan, että ei ole niinku yksi yhteen tultu. Mie mitä aloitin. Se on taas muuttunut matkan varrella mun kukkanen. Tapahtunut taas kummallisia juttuja tässä matkan varrella. Munkin nyt kun tuli mieleen, niin pitäisi koittaa muistaa noin kaikki siemenpaketit kaivaa taas esiin tuolta ja laitella, lykätä multaa vaan vähän kaikkea. Ettei ne jää vaan tonne kaappiin olemaan. Kokeillaan tuosta vähän paperilla. Blurrataan toi tausta tuolta. Joo. Kyllä tähän paljon saa vielä väriä laittaa, jos nyt meinaisi niinku. Kyllä ton taustankin saisi tummentaa. Nyt lähti vähän sellainen asenne päälle, että I don't give a F. Se on hauskaa, kun se sellainen tulee päälle. Sitten sitä vaan tekee. Tuosta noin vaan vedetään. Tarvitsisiko noita tummempia tuolta vielä vähän se vetää? Sinne tietty voisi vähän vilauttaa jotain muuta väriä kuin punaista. Saisi vähän syvyyttä siihen. Ootko aatoksia vielä siellä, millaista musiikkia sä teet? Jos sopii udella. Ai vitsi, tässä olisi kyllä niin paljon vielä jos haluaa riippuu nyt miten pitkälle ton haluaisi viedä. Kokeillaan tänne vähän tommoista sinistä. Kevyttä kitaraa ja laulua. No niin. Sehän on just jees. Semmonen. Joo, se on kyllä, se vaatisi vähän silleen, niin kuin, että sitä päivittäin tekee. Kyllä niin kuin itselläkin, niin kaikki mä oon unohtanut, mitä mä oon opetellut, kun en mä oon soittanut pitkiin aikoihin mitään kitaraa tai mitään. Kyllä ne vaan unohtuu. Mutta ainakin on ollut hauskaa sillä hetkellä, kun on soitellut, että on löytynyt ihan hyviäkin rytmejä ja kaikkea. On siitä kivatkin puolet. On nauttinut sillä hetkellä, vaikka unohtunut olisikin kaikki. Mutta kyllä se, niin kuin mä tuossa just Tiinallekin kerroin, että kun mä opettelin aikoinaan piirtää ruusun, että mä opettelin ton, että miten se ruusu menee ja kyllä mä sen osasin ihan hyvin piirtää ilman mitään mallia. Niin sit se on vaan unohtunut. Sit sitä vähän niinku tekee sen miten sattuu, kun ei niitä paina mieleen, niin sinne ne sit jonnekin. Me taidetaan olla jääräpäitä myös siinä unohtamisessa. Joo, kyllähän ne sitten palautuu. Se on ihan hyvä puoli kyllä siinä. Mikähän siinä on muuta siinä hevissä, että se on Suomessa niin aika yleistä tai suosittua. Kyllähän sitä itsekin kuunteli silloin aika nuorempana. Nykyään se on aika harvoin, kun tulee heviä kuunneltua. Oletko siellä tollainen botti? En mä tiedä. En mä tiedä, mitä se laittaa. Tässä katsoa noin kaikki botit läpi, kun vaan jaksaisi kiinnostaisi. Niin se voi olla se melankolisuus. Meillä on pimeetä ja kai siihen voi olla vähän se identiteettikin kiinnittyneenä siihen synkkyyteen. Niin kuin mä oon joskus kertonut sen, kun mä olin junassa. Ja mä kuuntelin siinä koko junamatkan ajan, kun siinä oli sellainen nuori kundi. Se kävi tyyli puhelimen kauttaaltaan läpi, soitti kaikille. Kertoi hirveän draaman, kuinka hänen lompakko on kadonnut. Ja sitten aina kuka siellä puhelimen toisessa päässä oli, niin kun huomasi, että hän tarjoaa apuaan, että rahat ja luottokortit ja kaikki mennyt, niin sitten lopuksi tämä kundi kertoi, että ei kun joo, hei mä löysin sen lompakon. Ja mä ihmettelin niin, että minkä ihmeen takia hänen pitää käydä koko puhelin läpi ja kertoa toi draamajuttu silleen siinä muodossa, että hän olisi hävittänyt sen lompakon. Ja sitten kun se toinen ihminen siellä tarjoaa apuaan, niin sitten hän kertoo, että ei kun joo, mä löysinkin sen lompakon. Että kaikki on ihan ok. Mun mielestä se oli jotenkin niin absurdia, että minkä takia toi tarina pitää kertoa tolla tavalla noille ihmisille, että hän kauhistuttaa niitä sillä draamalla ja sitten kaikki onkin kumminkin ihan ok. Mun mielestä se oli niin absurdia, mutta jokainen tyylillään. Ai että. Humans are strange. Kyllä. Alkaisikohan se olla siinä? Taas on tommonen karu jälki tuolla. Pitäisi painaa sen verran paljon kovempaa tuolla kynällä. Oi vitsi. Fuskataan vähän. Otetaan mustaa. ihan snadisti tonne noin. Vähän korostetaan tuota kukkaa tuolta. Pääsen tekemään taas näitä ihania rajoja. Vaikka se nyt ei tavallaan sitten se vie sen luonnollisuuden pois, jos yrittää luonnollisuutta, kun vetää tommosia mustia rajoja, mutta joskus se vaan näyttää ihan hemmetin hyvältä, kun vetää mustat ääriviivat. Eipä muuten pitkiä aikoihin tullut kuunneltua Doorsia. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Täällä mustalla kun vetää tähän näin, niin pääsee vielä tekemään tollasen, ettei tee niin tasasta tosta pinnasta, tosta terälehdistä. Siinä on vähän tollasia epätasaisuuksia. Tuliko luukuteltua oikein kunnolla dorssiautossa? Jaksaakohan nykynuoret kuunnella yhtä levyä kerrallaan vai onkohan se niin hektistä, että tämän internetin myötä onko kaikki muuttunut niin hektiseksi, että me ollaan sitä ikäluokkaa, että me ollaan kuunneltu levyjä. Siinä on kyllä niin kuin monessakin tollasessa on ihan hyvä ollut, että meillä on ollut vähän sellaista hitaampaa se elämä. Se kumminkin on kasvattanut semmosia monia skillsejä, mitä ei välttämättä nykypäivänä sitten nuoret opi, kun toi kaikki internet, digitaalinen maailma on niin, se on niin hektistä. niin just se oli niitä good old times, kun jos halusit jonkun ohjelman, niin laitoit imuttaa sen ja menit syömään, kävit saunassa, kävit ulkona tekemässä jotain. Sitten tulit katsoa, että okei, 5 tunnin päästä. No se alkaa sopivasti olla valmis. Se on vaan siinä niin kuin ihminen muuttuu aika paljon, jos se on kaikki mulle nyt ja heti. Mä just tuossa Tiinan kanssa kun juttelin, niin kun mä sanoin sitä, että mitä mä oon nähnyt ihmisissä, että kun ne haluu sen palkinnon ja massit ja kaikki pitää saada niin kuin nyt ja heti ja ne ei ole valmiit tekemään sitä työtä sen eteen. Niin sanoin sitä justiinsa, että se on kun istuttaisi siemenen maahan ja vaatis, että saa ennen kuin se siemen kasvaa puuksi ja tuottaa hedelmää, niin pitäisi saada saman tien sitä hedelmää. Eikä odottaa sitä, että se puu kasvaa siemenestä. Nyt kun mä vedin noin mustat reunat, mun tekisi mieli mennä tännekin vetää mustaa. Mutta ehkä mä jätän väliin. Koitetaan hillitä omat mustan käytöt. Niin mulla oli vähän eri, kun mä asuin siellä landella, niin mä olin aina siellä mettässä. Mä olin aina siellä seikkailemassa. Mä oon kyllä välillä aina huvittanut, kun oon miettinyt sitä, kun mun faija oli kemisti. Ja kun mä olin siellä sen työpaikalla aina välillä joskus silloin tällä aina käymässä, niin mun mielestä se oli niin jännä, että faija antoi mulle niitä happoja, siis mitkä syövyttää käteen reijän, jos tulee pisarakin kädelle. Niin se antoi mulle niitä happoja, että mä sain sekoitella, kun ne oli kirkkaita nesteitä. Mutta sitten kun niitä sekoitti keskenään, niin niistä tuli eri värisiä. riippuen mitä happoja aina sekoitti, niin mä leikin niillä hapoilla ja faija vaan sanoi, että älä sit roiski niitä itses päälle, että muuten sulaa käsi. Mun mielestä se on niin kuin jännä, että on se ollut kyllä niin kuin rohkea ihminen, että se on uskaltanut omalle pojalle antaa niin kuin, no leikin noilla hapoilla. Pidä hauskaa. Joo, se menisi toi muuten ruusu, jos me nyt alan tuohon itse ruusuun lykkää mustaa, niin se saattaisi mennä vähän pilalle. Parempi jättää tänne reunoille vaan. Kyllä se antoi tuohon silti tommosen kivan efektin, vaikka se kyllä vie niinku tosta vähän, että se ei näytä niin luonnolliselta, kun lisää tuota mustaa. Mä tykkään kyllä välillä just tuohon noin, että tekee reunat mustalle, niin se antaa semmoista tiettyä fiilistä siihen. Sen takia varmaan, kun mä siellä metsissä lapsina tykkäsin vilistellä, niin sen takia mulla on varmaan jäänyt se semmonen, että mä en niinku pelkää mennä tonne mettään ja eksyttää itteeni. Vaan mun mielestä se on siistiä, koska mä oon oppinut sen jo lapsena. Et aina sitä jotenkin löytää takaisin. Et ihan sama, vaikka ei tiedä missä on tai minne menee, niin aina sitä löytää jotenkin takaisin. Mun mielestä se oli jännä niin kuin aikuisiällä. Kun mä puhuin ihmisille, niin että joo, mä oon menossa mettään yöpymään teltalla. Niin sit kun ihmiset tajus, että mä en ota kännykkää mukaan, niin ihan järjestäen eri ihmisille, kun mainitsin tuosta asiasta, niin kaikki oli paniikissa. Entä jos tapahtuu jotain, ethän se voi mennä sinne mettään ilman kännykkää. Sehän se just pointti mulla on, että mä en ole näiden laitteiden lähellä, että mä haluan tänne puhtauteen, että en mä nyt mitään hemmetin puhelinta sinne ota mukaan. Mutta se oli jännä, että miten se herätti sellaista paniikkia ihmisissä. Mä olin, että hei, come on. Ei meillä nämä kännykät nyt niin kauan ollut. Että miten te kuvittelette, rakkaat ihmiset, että ihmiset on yleensäkin ollut missään metässä. Ei meillä ole kännykät ollut niin kauan. Että miten siitä on tullut sellainen, että ilman sitä ei voi mennä mettään. Jos jotain tapahtuu, niin sitten käsitellään se asia. Niin, metsä on vähän kuin koti. Se on. Mä voisin tähän vielä ihan vähän laittaa oranssia. Musta vähän saisi semmoista hueta. Hue. Kyllä se siihen vähän tuommoista kivaa. Vaikutti niin latteelta tää väritys tässä, niin se antaa kivaa tuollaista. Vähän tuollaista syvyyttä tuohon noin. Mä oon ollut tässä jo pitkä aikaa. Nyt mä lopetan, mutta koko ajan mä vaan jatkan ja jatkan. I can't get enough. Niin, onhan se sinänsä kyllä, jos oikeasti jotain accidentteja tapahtuu, niin onhan se kännykkä siinä mielessä hyvä olla mukana. Että en mä nyt sitä meinaa, ettei sitä saisi missään tapauksessa ottaa mukaan. Mutta mulla vaan on ollut se tyyli, että kun mä menen luontoon, niin mä menen sinne yleensä just sen takia, että mä pääsen eroon näistä laitteista. Kun nääkin on tullut vähän semmoiseksi, että näiden on päivittäin tekemisessä. Tuohon tietty voisi vähän lisätä liiloa. Tuohon reunaan meinaa. Otetaan tuolta vaikka tommonen. Tosta se on vähän niinku bend over. alkaiskohan tää nyt jo ole tässä. Ai sulla ei ole vieläkään älyluuria. Mä ostin se silloin jossain vaiheessa. Ihan vaan sen takia, että mä käytän sitä työkaluna. No niin, nyt kynät pois. Nyt se saa riittää. Sitten lähdetään ruoan laittoon. Joo, se on harvinaista, jos ei ole älypuhelimia nykypäivänä. All right. Tällaista tänään ja jatketaan sitten taas kynäkäteen ensi viikolla, ellei tossa nyt sitten tule viikonloppuna kenties. Mulla olisi kyllä, voisi piirtää niitä silmiäkin vielä. No, katsotaan miten tässä asiat menee. Mutta jos ei pääse tekemään striimejä, niin oikein mukavaa viikonloppua kaikille. Ja joo, todellakin ruusuista päivää kaikille. Moikka moi!